Position regarding what has occurred in Venezuela. A few days ago, although we had already issued a statement, I would like to read a more detailed position. Mexico's stance against any form of intervention is firm, clear, and historic. In light of the recent events in Venezuela, where the United States government carried out a direct intervention that resulted in the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, as well as the loss of human lives, Mexico reaffirms a principle that is not new and that allows no ambiguity. We categorically reject intervention in the internal affairs of other countries. The history of Latin America is clear and unequivocal. Intervention has never brought democracy, it has never generated well-being or lasting stability. Only people can build their own future, decide their path, exercise sovereignty over their natural resources, and freely define their form of government. Our position is clearly enshrined in the Constitution of the United Mexican States. But it is not only a national principle. The Charter of the United Nations and international law unequivocally establish respect for the sovereignty of states, their territorial integrity, and the right of peoples to self-determination. Therefore, we state with complete clarity that for Mexico, and so it should be for all Mexicans, the sovereignty and self-determination of peoples are not optional or negotiable. They are fundamental principles of international law and must always be respected, without exceptions. Unilateral action and invasion cannot be the basis of international relations in the 21st century. They lead neither to peace nor to development. George Washington, in 1796, called for observing good faith and justice towards all nations and for cultivating peace and harmony among all. The continent faces new challenges. Global economic competition, particularly in the face of Asia's growth, is not achieved through the use of force to subjugate other peoples, but through cooperation for development, productive investment, innovation, education, and social well-being. We maintain that the American continent can and must move towards a new vision, a vision based on cooperation and not on intervention. This implies, concretely, first, full and unrestricted respect for the sovereignty and self-determination of peoples. Each nation has the inalienable right to decide its political, economic, and social model without external pressure. Second, productive investment oriented towards development in infrastructure, energy, transport, education, science, and technology. Development is built. Third, regional economic integration based on shared productive chains, fair trade, and benefits for all countries of the continent, allowing us to be self-sufficient as a region while competing with Asia's growth. Fourth, social well-being as the central axis of development. Economic growth that does not reduce inequality or poverty cannot be considered true progress. Fifth, permanent dialogue among equals. The stability of the hemisphere is built through understanding, cooperation, and mutual respect. Mexico firmly maintains that America does not belong to a doctrine or to a power. The American continent belongs to the peoples of each of the countries that comprise it. Lincoln defined democracy as a government of the people, by the people and for the people. Benito Juárez clearly established that, among individuals as among nations, respect for the rights of others is peace. That is the vision we defend and will continue to defend, economic integration of the continent and cooperation with respect for sovereignty. With regard to the fight against drug trafficking and organized crime, in recent months we have established an understanding with the United States based on 4 principles: respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, shared and differentiated responsibility, mutual respect and trust, and cooperation without subordination. Mexico cooperates with the United States, even for humanitarian reasons, to prevent fentanyl and other drugs from reaching its population, particularly young people. As we have said on other occasions, we do not want fentanyl or any drug to come near any young person, neither in the United States, nor in Mexico, nor anywhere else in the world. We do so responsibly and decisively. For Mexico, the central objective is to reduce violence and build lasting peace with justice in our territory. The results are there to see: a 37% reduction in intentional homicide, hundreds of tons of different illegal drugs seized, and dozens of criminals extradited. However, it is important to stress that when we speak of shared responsibility, respect, and mutual trust, the violence experienced in our country has among its causes the illegal flow of high-powered weapons from the United States into Mexico, as well as the serious problem of drug consumption in the neighboring country. Likewise, We have stated that groups that distribute drugs and launder money must be tackled firmly both in Mexico and in the United States. As I have expressed in conversations with President Trump, addressing the root causes is also fundamental. We have even agreed that values, family support, education, and mass communication are indispensable tools to prevent drug consumption. Finally, it is necessary to reaffirm that in Mexico the people rule and that we are a free, independent, and sovereign country. Cooperation, yes. Subordination and intervention, no. This is the position we wish to make known to you today.